Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Thursday, the 7th of October. I'm Curtis Morton, happy to be back after a brief break. In our headlines, Windies captain to feature in World Cup T20 film, and in our feature for this evening, top football officials on Nevis pay tribute to the late Anthony Johnson. We'll take this break and I'll be right back.
I'm the Honorable Eric Evelyn, Minister of Social Development in the Nevis Island Administration. And we at our ministry will welcome this exercise as we benefit tremendously from any data that is collected during a census. As a matter of fact, we depend heavily on information from our households to make very important decisions. Of course, the information that we get will allow us to channel resources where they are needed the most. And so, I want to take this opportunity to encourage all residents and nationals to take part fully in the census. Do not pass up your opportunity to be counted. I would also encourage you to be as truthful and kind to the enumerators as possible. It's you, me, us. 2021 Census, hashtag be counted.
Well, I'm back and we start with cricket. West Indies T20 and One-Day International captain Kieron Pollard and Indian skipper Virat Kohli are featured in an animated film to promote the upcoming T20 World Cup tournament, which begins in the United Arab Emirates and Oman later this month. And Pollard, a two-time winner of the tournament, is looking forward to be part of the World Cup experience again. He said the upcoming ICC Men's T20 World Cup will give the team more special moments. Composed by renowned Bollywood music director Anit Trivedi, the animated film features young fans from all over the world immersed and engaged in T20 cricket and features some of the sport's biggest superstars. Launched in collaboration with the ICC's global broadcast partner Star Sports, the film premiered worldwide last week across ICC, BCCI, and Star Sports social media handles. The T20 World Cup is the pinnacle of the shortest format of the game and returns for the first time in 5 years. Meanwhile, former West Indies captain and batting maestro Shivnarayan Chandapal is among a group of 17 coaches taking part in the first locally planned high-performance coaching course of the West Indies Cricket Board. Chandapal is one of 6 well-known players who are part of the group involved with the coaching course, which CWI, the sports regional governing body, said was part of its strategic plan to invest in building coaching depth and quality across the region. Apart from Chandapal, the other well-known players pursuing the course are Ryan Austin, Riyad Emrit, Gary Mathurin, and Nikita Miller. CWI's coach development manager Chris Brabazon said the program will significantly enhance high-performance cricket across the region. Brabazon worked with the University of the West Indies over the past year to develop the high-performance level coaching course. He said the 12-month course will provide several of the region's best coaches to further leave techniques that will allow them to thrive in high-performance environment of the West Indies cricket pathway. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
The population and housing census will be conducted this year. And so I'm taking this opportunity to invite as many persons as possible to participate. The census produces valuable information that can help all of us. The Ministry of Health and Gender Affairs depends on such information so that we can make informed decisions as it pertains to public health and other related services. We are indeed happy to be a part of this very important event. It's you, me, us, 2021 Census, hashtag be counted.
Well, I'm back, and tonight we feature football. Following the recent sudden passing of former president of the SKNFA, Anthony Johnson, two top local football officials took time out to pay tribute to the great man. We first hear from Alex Claxton, and then the one and only Malcolm George Ramsey. I'm with the head coach for the Bath United football team. In recent times, we have heard about the sudden demise of the former president of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association, Mr. Anthony Johnson. Alex Claxton would have been acquainted with Mr. Johnson for quite some time. Alex, tell us a little bit about your understanding in terms of the man himself, Mr. Anthony Johnson. What kind of a man was he?
Okay, first of all, I would say it's really, really sad to learn of his passing. And I know that there are things that we do not have any control over, but I know that in the football fraternity, it is a very sad moment. Johnson, over the years, with my working with him as a president, and also not just in terms of that, but also working as a national coach, he has always been one with pleasantries, someone who you could always talk to about whether it's the game or outside of the game, and he's always there to give some kind of advice.
He seems to have had an extended run, because I was checking some records and he finished in 2020, I think it was, the recent elections. He was president up to that point and probably started somewhere around 2009. How has he impacted football in Nevis from your perspective?
I would say not just in Nevis, but in the federation. But when we think of some of the things that under his presidency that they have implemented, and to go to game, coaching education is one of the most important thing if you're going to go to game of football. And they have done, in my opinion, a tremendous job in trying to get many coaches, trained not only in St. Kitts but also in Nevis. And it is out of that stint, not just under him, but I started under President Jenkins. That was the time when Lenny Taylor, who started coaching education, but under President Johnson, he continued that trend, and it was spiraling upward. And so as a result of that, I was able to achieve not only D license, C license, but also B license. And to this present time, I am now one of the educators in training.
What would you say to his family at this time?
Well, that is a tragic loss to the family. And on behalf of the Bath United Football Club, on behalf of the entire football fraternity in Nevis, we do wish that you are comforted at this time. We know that words cannot express the way you feel, but we do trust and hope that you'll find comfort and strength in the Almighty God, who giveth strength and grace, and that you'll continue to be there for each other.
Well, thank you so much, Alex, and we certainly look forward to better times even under the new presidency.
Well, yes, I think that, the work has already started, and we're looking forward to the continuation of the football, going from strength to strength, taken to another level. And so we are yet to see, the performance of the president or the executive that is now in place.
It's always an awesome distinction to stand in the presence of one of FIFA's top referee assessors worldwide, actually. I'm here with Malcolm George Ramsey, and just to let you know, just in case you just landed from Mars, he's from Nevis, Bath Village to be exact. And Malcolm, it's nice to have you back in Nevis after a little stint overseas.
Yeah, I'm honored to be home. Always good to be home, Curtis, regardless of where I go and stuff like that. I'm always happy to be home, and thanks for having me.
Speaking of happy, we start off with a sad moment. Recently we heard of the passing of former president of the SKNFA, Mr. Anthony Johnson. You would have developed, certainly had some of your development under his watch. Tell us a little bit about maybe how he would have assisted you, and tell us a little bit about Anthony Johnson, the man.
Well, actually, is most of all of the development. You said most, but it's really all of the development came under Anthony Johnson. But before I get into that, let me just take the opportunity to express condolences to his family, his immediate family, and of course, he would have had people who were close to him, so his friends and loved ones, and then, of course, to the football fraternity, especially those who would have worked very closely with him, his former executive members, and also the staff of the Census Football Association. Let me just express condolences to them and remind them that God is in charge, God is in control. So as long as we look to him, he's going to comfort us and strengthen us in time of trouble. And then
Anthony Johnson, the man.
Well, the reality is, Curtis, that Anthony Johnson, before he actually got into office, I think he would have had some close relations with Raymond Weber Smith. A lot of people don't know that. And Weber was a part of his very first executive when he got elected into the Census Nevis, a part of the Census Nevis Football Association as president. So Weber was a part of his first executive and also a part of his second executive. And then Jamie Croxton came along in the third term. So he served for 3 terms in football. And so immediately he included divisions. That's the first thing. We're doing this interview, and I know you do it from a division perspective. So that's the reason why I'm giving you this kind of information. So he was able to assist and help Nevis to grow a little more. Of course, I think previously the Bath United would have been a member of the SKNFA and stuff like that, but I don't think we had anybody on the actual executive. So Raymond may have been the first from Nevis, actually living in Nevis, involved in Nevis football, and then Jamie followed about 8 years after. So out of that came a number of things. Out of that came coaching education, and also out of that came opportunities for divisions to actually play. You know, in the past we had people who were good enough. You know, the Paul Walwins and the Winstoners and the Foggies and the Short Williams and so on. Merrill Newton would have gotten a couple of games, but we understand, though, the late Merrill Newton would have gotten a couple of games, but we understand the situation as it was then. So the reality is he revolutionized the relationship, the football relationship between Census and Nevis, and did a great job. And then I was fortunate to get the opportunity to become a referee instructor in 2011 under his presidency. And, well, the rest is history, because since that, we've had 2 FIFA officials, and we're headed now for maybe 2 more. Hopefully in 2022, we'll probably be getting 2 more added to that, a male and a female. Looking forward to that. So we've had Kim Belward, we've had Mario Parry, myself as a referee instructor and assessor. So all of this came under his presidency. So he did a great deal for the development of football, not just in Nevis, of course, but again, because of the local content, but in St. Kitts and Nevis. And so it is sad that he has gone, but I think he did well. He did what he had to do from the physical part of life. Can't speak of the spiritual part, but from the physical part of life. And so I think he'll be remembered for a long time to come.
Any words for football lovers on Nevis and St. Kitts in terms of going forward? We know we have a new presidency and new executive. His legacy, though, would live on, I would imagine.
Well, most certainly, Morton. I always like to say that the game will continue. That's the reality. You know, no matter what position you hold in life, it will continue in most cases. So I would just want to say to the football-loving people that whatever we do, we should remember that what he would have done to enhance what you're doing moving forward. To the new president and his executive, Mr. Atiba Harris, and his executive, I would want to wish them the best. I'm really looking forward to working with this executive. I've been the manager of the referee department now for about 4 years. And of course, that appointment came under Anthony Johnson, obviously, the late Anthony Johnson. And so I'm looking forward to the continued work with Mr. Harris and his executive, and also the staff of the SKNFA and the football-loving people.
Finally, Ramsey, people normally wait until people pass on to do something to commemorate them. I guess it's a little late now, he's already gone, but if you were to put something in place, whether it's a tournament in his memory or something, what would be your idea be in terms of probably the best way of remembering Anthony Johnson?
Well, it immediately comes to my mind after you asked that question. You know, I don't know if you're aware of it, but there's a building in St. Peter's that that began under his leadership, right?
Office,
Right. That and it's a whole structure. It's a playing field. It has a lot of things. So I think it'll be. I don't know if it has. I don't think it's not completed as yet. But I believe that will be a fitting way to make it the Anthony Johnson whatever center or whatever it is. That to me that will be a great honor for him.
In his memory.
Honor is in memory. Yes, that's right.
Thank you so much, Ramsey. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. That's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.